There have been so many major villains in the MCU, but Thanos was such a memorable one that people think we might not even have a better villain in the future of the MCU. However, I would always say that there's room for improvement. So that's why today we're going to talk about the top 5 Avengers 5 villains that could possibly appear in Avengers 5. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're interested in Marvel and Star Wars content, then click on the subscribe button and the notifications bell. That way you won't miss out a single upload. Alright, so let's get to the list right away, and I'm going to tell you that as we make our way closer to the first positions, we're going to realize that Thanos is actually not much in Marvel Comics, that there are villains way stronger than him, by which I mean really, really strong. Alright, so coming in at number 5.
There are no strings on me.
That's right, we have Ultron. That line of Ultron still gives me chills. What a great villain. However, Ultron's life was actually ended in Avengers Age of Ultron. Vision actually knocked him out of the internet, and he even destroyed the last robot in the end of the movie. So the question is not about why Ultron's going to return. Of course, he wants to bring peace to the planet by killing every single human being. But the question is, how will he return? When his consciousness is literally destroyed, how will he even return? Well, let's just assume that somehow Ultron managed to survive and that he may be back for revenge. Many fans actually try to sign a petition to bring back Ultron, so you never know. They may bring back Ultron in Avengers 5. Again, Avengers 5 is not going to be an Avengers Endgame level movie, so this may be one of those movies to feature Ultron. Coming in at number 4, we have the Mandarin. Now hold on, I'm not talking about Trevor from Iron Man 3, and I'm not talking about Aldrich Killian either. I'm talking about the real Mandarin. Take a look at this footage.
You're not even a real criminal.
Au contraire, Dave. When an actor has inhabited a role as long as I have, he often becomes it.
Alright, so this is from Marvel's short film, and in this we do learn that Trevor is obviously not the real Mandarin. However, I'm about to tell you that even Aldrich Killian is not the real Mandarin. He was lying the whole time.
I am the Mandarin!
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying!
So the question is, who is the real Mandarin? Now, we do know that the MCU actually announced a movie called Shang-Chi in their Phase 4 announcement. Now, this is going to introduce the first Asian superhero in the MCU, and the villain is going to be the Mandarin. In the comics, there are 10 rings which the Mandarin finds. Each ring provides him with some kind of superpowers, so it's kind of similar to the Infinity Stones. Maybe not as strong as them, but definitely pretty good. Now, the movie Shang-Chi has the caption, The Legend of the Ten Rings. Reading this, I instantly learned that it's going to be the Mandarin who's going to come in Shang-Chi. Not just me, obviously. It's obvious to every single Marvel fan. So if the Mandarin comes with these 10 rings, each ring grants him immense power, and that's going to make him a really badass villain. The only way to defeat this villain will be to chop off his hands, just like how it happened to Count Dooku. You do remember that, right? So this is going to make a really cool villain, a guy with 10 rings, each ring giving him some kind of power. It can be wind, it can be anything. You can check out those powers. I have a picture right here. So those powers are going to be so good to him, and of course he's going to make a really cool villain. So let's head to our number 3 on this list. Now from here on, you're going to realize that Thanos is nothing in the MCU. So who is this villain anyway at number 3? At number 3, I think the villain in Avengers 5 may be Dormammu. Dormammu was last seen and first seen in Doctor Strange. We realize that he's this huge creature, not a creature exactly, but some kind of an entity. He's a dark entity that feeds on planets, that literally expands just like how Ego was trying, and Doctor Strange merely defeated him with a time loop. Now this does not mean that he would just be scared and not just come back. Look at this guy, he's such a powerful and much more powerful than Thanos. So there's obviously a great way for him to return. Now we do know that Karl Mardo at the end of Doctor Strange 2 turned rogue. He's not with Kamar-Taj anymore, so this may prove that he may actually be trying to reach out to Dormammu for some reason. Of course, he was kind of twisted at the end of Doctor Strange 2. We don't at the end of Doctor Strange. So we do not know what exactly is going to happen. He may slide up with Dormammu or not, but whatever it is, Dormammu would make a great villain and would obviously be back for revenge. Who knows, he may be on the quest for the Time Stone already. All we can do is wait for this movie, and I would be so excited to see Dormammu. So coming in at number 2, this is probably my favorite in the list. He's one of my favorite villains of all time in Marvel Comics. And I think he deserves an Avengers Endgame level movie. But however, I thought of including him on this list because of number 1. So number 2 is Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. That's right, he literally devours worlds. By which he mean he has worlds for dinner. He eats planets for breakfast. That's what I mean. So Galactus is actually a villain in the comics, a villain of the Fantastic Four series. Now we do know that the Fantastic Four and the X-Men are coming into the MCU, and that could be a great way to introduce Galactus into the MCU. Now Galactus is again way powerful than Thanos. He's this huge entity, he's a cosmic entity in the comics. Of course he will be after Earth. He literally feeds on organic planets as we have seen in the second Fantastic Four movie of the old series. That's what I meant to say. So we know that Galactus is such a powerful entity that he will be after Earth, and obviously the Avengers must come up with a way to stop him. We do know that Galactus has a herald, that is a team, and he sends these team to look out for planets, and in that team we could see the Silver Surfer. So Galactus would be a great one to see in Avengers 5, but I honestly think that he deserves probably Avengers 7 or something like Avengers Endgame. So now, before we go into number 1, let's look at the honorable mentions. Now, the first mention I have is Doctor Doom. Of course, as I said before, Fantastic Four are coming into the MCU, and Doctor Doom is also a Fantastic Four villain. Now, Doctor Doom may actually be introduced in Black Panther because he literally fought Black Panther in the comics and even put him into a coma. So he's so powerful, we may see him in Avengers 5, but again, I like Galactus more in the Fantastic Four villain series. Now, the next honorable mention is Norman Osborn and Mysterio. Now, Mysterio, nobody's convinced that he's dead and far from home, even though it's actually been confirmed. Even I want him back somehow in the MCU, so Mysterio could actually team up with Norman Osborn, who's the Green Goblin. So those two coming up with the Sinister Six in Avengers 5 would be amazing, although it's better for Spider-Man 3, we'll see what happens. Last honorable mention I have is Red Skull. We do know that Red Skull was actually cursed to guard the Soul Stone, even though he could never possess it. In the end of Avengers Endgame, we do know that Captain America returned the Soul Stone. But before returning the Soul Stone, Red Skull was free. We do not know what happened. Even Joe Russo and Anthony Russo, the directors of Avengers Endgame, did not reveal much about Red Skull except about the curse and that he wouldn't fight Captain America when he tried to return the Soul Stone. So whatever happened between the returning time and the time the Soul Stone was taken is what is not known. So that may be a leading point to Red Skull becoming a villain. Now, I know I rushed these honorable mentions a bit because I want to go into number 1 right away. So coming in at number 1 is a character pretty good at the comics, but not many people actually know him. Many MCU fans don't know him either. However, what I would like to tell is this villain is related to the Quantum Realm. And this villain is none other than Kang the Conqueror. Now, why did Kang the Conqueror deserve number 1? We do know that throughout Ant-Man and the Wasp, and even Avengers Endgame, the Quantum Realm was involved the whole time. We do not know how time was messed up down there. We do know that Kang the Conqueror is a time-traveling villain and that he has a city of his own. He literally likes conquering. At a very young age, he even traveled back in time into ancient Egypt and became the Conqueror. So we do know that he's obsessed with conquering, and if he's actually the conqueror of a quantum city in the quantum realm, we do know that the quantum cities have been confirmed down there by the director Peyton Reed. So if Kang the Conqueror is indeed the king of Quantum City, he would definitely not like trespassers creating messed up time loops down there. So we do not know what kind of revenge he's seeking against the Avengers or other time travelers, and since time travel has been seen in Avengers Endgame before, I think this is a great way for Kang the Conqueror to come into the MCU, especially with so much time travel, and that's why I think he deserved number 1. But let me know your thoughts down below, and let me know if you have a better list. I'm sure everyone's list is unique, so let me know down there below.